Welcome to Flamp Flamp Sports. My name is Richard Harris, and let's talk sports. Welcome to Flamp Flamp Sports. My name is Richard Harris. Tonight we're going to do a couple blogs. One is a week behind, and one will be current. So let's get started with the one from the week behind. I've watched sports my whole life. My dad used to sit with me as a 3-year-old, 2-year-old, even when I was born, and watch sporting events with him. And he would talk my ear about sports. And I've seen a lot of the great players over the last 40 years. And I have finally come to the conclusion that I'm about to come to, which may not surprise anyone. That conclusion is that there are athletes out there who are spectacular regular season guys. Guys who perform at the highest levels, who defy the odds, who do the magnificent over 162 games of baseball, 82 games of basketball, 80 games of hockey, 16 games of the National Football League, but just can't get it done on the biggest stage. And a lot of times it's their fault, but a lot of times it's not their fault. What we've seen over the past few weeks and over the past 20 years in sports, basically, we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled by the fact that you got David Ortiz in baseball, who just is Mr. Clutch. No matter the game, the inning, the weather, the time of night, if the Red Sox needed a big hit, he's delivered. And he has 3 rings and a Hall of Fame career that's marred because of alleged steroids. But besides that, he is a Hall of Famer in every sense of the word. You have Tom Brady in the NFL. He's got 4 championships. Once as a no-name, the other 2 times as the main name, and the last time because the team became too smart for his own britches, but he benefited from it. You have Derek Jeter diving into stands, cutting up his face. You got Michael, of course, in basketball. Olajuwon in basketball. I mean, some people, Steph Curry is becoming that guy now in basketball. Like the lights on. And he can get it done with the lights on. But then, Mark Messier, another one. Messier guaranteed the Rangers would win. Scored a hat trick, including the game winner against a top-notch team, the Devils. And then got it done against Vancouver to end the Rangers drought. Like, certain guys just know how to make it happen. Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods had that stretch where he was, was it 13-0 when leading after 54 holes? Or more than that. But he just was insane with if he had to lead after 54 holes, it was a wrap. And then he lost it at a major to Y.E. Yang, but he was still a time period when it was time to get it done, he got it done. And now we look at the athletes on the other side of that coin. Alexander Ovechkin is a sick hockey player. He has a sick shot. You know exactly what he's going to do with the puck on a power play. They set him up perfectly every time, and he delivers more times than not. But for some reason, no matter how good his teams are, his team can't get it done. This year, they almost set a record for the most wins in the season, points in the season. They had everything going their way. But who did he lose to? He lost to Sidney Crosby, who was supposedly his equal, but Crosby obviously had concussions that has curtailed his career. And what did Crosby do tonight? Game mattered. They needed a win to make this season real for them, a chance to beat Tampa, and Crosby delivers the goods with 40 seconds into the overtime, wins. Ovechkin has not had those kind of moments. And unfortunately, his teams just can't get it done in the postseason. And it's so sad because we want him. The world wants him to hold that trophy and to hold that status that he has. But for some reason, he can't get it done. Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo, every time I watch the ESPN, he's beautiful goals. Messi, beautiful goals. In the Spanish league, they do great. They win the leagues. One wins it one year and one wins it another year. But when it comes to, for the World Championships, the World Cup of Championships, other teams are just simply better. I mean, at least Argentina made it to the finals of the World Cup, so at least Messi can hang his hat on that. But Portugal's not doing nothing. And Cristiano Ronaldo, for all his success, he is a terrible World Cup player. NFL, they say Peyton Manning is the greatest regular season quarterback. What an insult to say that to somebody. That you are the greatest regular season quarterback. Not the greatest quarterback. You're the greatest regular season quarterback. And it's horrible that he gets the credit and the lack of credit that he gets for being just as great as he was. He's broken almost every NFL quarterbacking record, but they'll always say Brady's better. John Elway was the same way until the last 2 years of his success as a player. They said Elway was the greatest quarterback, greatest fourth quarter quarterback ever. But in the fourth quarter, in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl, he was garbage. Kevin Durant's getting that moniker now. He's a great player. He went to one NBA Finals. He's an MVP. But the reality is, people want more. And unfortunately, he is not able to overcome his demons. Whether it's fear of failure, whether it's he's not afraid of the big lights. He took all the big shots tonight. But the reality is, until these guys deliver the goods, people are going to say what they say about them. That some guys just are not meant to win on the big stage. Even, you talk about golf. Ricky Fowler. Some people feel Ricky Fowler is a great golfer. He won the Players' Championship last year in impressive fashion. And it's just a matter of time before he's able to win a major championship. It took years for Phil Mickelson to win a major championship. But the reality of sports is that's the culture we live in today. Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez has made more money than any athlete ever. He put up numbers worthy of it. Whether you talk about him being steroids numbers or not. But he's not been performing extremely well in the postseason. He's had one good postseason, and that one good postseason, he won a championship. Atlanta Braves baseball team. All those years of winning the division. Was it 13 in a row? Got one world championship. Chipper wasn't great in those series. Maddox wasn't great in those series. Smoltz was phenomenal in those series, but he never won his games. And so basically now what we're saying in sports, instead of just saying that, it takes a village to win a championship, we're now giving them out. We're all giving them out saying that they're just not that guy. And to me, that's why every year when I do my blogs around Hall of Fame sports time, when I talk about the Hall of Fames of all the sports, I am so angry at the people they put in. Not everybody gets to go to the Hall of Fame. And some of the people they put in the Hall of Fame don't make any sense. Because they had good careers. But they're not David Ortiz. Barry Bonds was a great regular season player. He stunk it up in the postseason until later in his career. He's a Hall of Famer because he had 760 home runs. Okay, I get that. But David Ortiz is a superstar who won 3 World Series championships because of him. He had pivotal hits to make things happen. And that's why he is in the Hall of Fame. Somebody like Andy Pettitte should be in the Hall of Fame because Andy Pettitte, postseason, he was as clutch as he was during the regular season. And somebody like Bert Blyleven, who's in there with 288 wins, he's in there because he won 288 wins, not because he was clutch. Jack Morris was clutch. Jack Morris should never have to wait as long as he did. He was clutch. And he did it with 2 different teams. But it's so sad, though, that we look back at baseball, look at basketball. We'll say Chris Paul. As great a leader as Chris Paul is, people will say that maybe the postseason is not his thing. Because he doesn't understand that sometimes leadership means you have to score. Now, this year he didn't get a chance to because he got hurt. But sometimes you got to go outside of yourself in order to prove that you are as good as we all believe you are. I'll never give an athlete an excuse. If you're good in the regular season, you should be as good in the postseason. Kyle Lowry and his partner, I forget his name, I'm drawing a blank right now, DeMar DeRozan, they are terrible in the postseason. But they're in their first Eastern Conference Finals because they didn't give up. So I'll give them credit for not giving up. But the fact is, that's where you make your name. That's where you make your money. Reggie Miller during the regular season is very quiet. No one says nothing about Reggie Miller during the regular season. Reggie Miller made his name because in the postseason, he hit big shots against everybody. Robert Horry, regular season, don't know who he is. But if you need a big shot in the postseason, Robert Horry deliver. That's what's so funny about baseball. They always talk about in baseball, it's not the main guys who win the MVPs in the postseason. It's the David Freeses and the Brian Doyles and the Bucky Dents, the Ray Knights, the guys who are capable, who just quietly get it done. And maybe that's what all these players, these great players, are lacking. They're lacking somebody to be that other, as Shaq likes to talk about. Hopefully next year for Ovechkin, they'll find that other. But it's so sad that a guy can be so dominant and just can't get it done. But that's just one man's opinion. I'm Richard Harris.